Shalom, y'all want to know here. Let me know if y'all can still hear it on y'all side. Let me know if y'all can hear that sound and that feedback still. Y'all still getting that feedback? All right, more time practice and y'all come out with that. All right, so y'all can see me. Y'all can see me pretty tawab too. Mm-hmm. All right, perfect. Yeah. Our oppressor, the devil, the Bible speak of, man. He tried to make us pay $50-something to put an extra camera on. And just how I have it set up is exactly how the second camera would have looked. Yeah, it would have looked just like this, paying $50 a month just for an extra camera. I said, listen, so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, we resourceful. I'm gonna use my phone as a camera, and I'm gonna use this computer camera, and I'm gonna have two cameras that way for $25 a month. they thought they was gonna get one over on us, Aki. Well, we gonna set this class up right. I just wanted to make sure y'all can see everything, and make sure y'all can see the board, and also see what I got going on as well. So every once in a while, I may try to so I'm still gonna have the virtual up. Right, damn right, always trying to nickel and dime, right, exactly. Always trying to nickel and dime you out. Every once in a while. So can y'all see the board clear? Let me know if y'all can see the board clear as well. Cause the brother he's gonna write on the board too. And I'm still gonna have the virtual screen up too. So I'm gonna bounce back and forth as well. So we're still gonna be doing things virtual as well, Locky. So don't think you're not gonna see it virtually as well. We're gonna have it both ways. I'm just gonna bounce back from it. All right, I'm gonna have it on the screen and not have it on the screen. So the brothers and sisters that come into class, they get hands on, and of course, virtually online, they can just see more clear on what I'm, see more clear, because you may not see the board as clear as what you're going to see on the screen. So we're going to have both. All right, we're going to have both for real. So just bear with me. Most High in Christ. And so I'm gonna put this just to put that out, also to put this out here too. For any brother and sister that wants to attend class and come to class, all right. Classes are from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, from 7 to 9. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. All right. We have a building you can come to. If you are a brother or a sister, as long as you are clean and you are an Israelite, you can come to class. You don't have to ask. You don't have to just show up. All right, 30 minutes prior. You text you text the head brother that's in charge of the school. Y'all know it's me. Just text me, and then I'll let Cap know what's going on, and y'all just go ahead and come to the school, come to the class. All right, and we'll get it rocking and rolling. You know what I'm saying? All right, we'll get it rocking and rolling. Um, let's see. Most High Christ, I see y'all brothers in here. So if I add the screen now, let me know. Can y'all still see that board well enough if he starts writing on it too? Can y'all see that board well enough when I do it this way? Because I may not even have to go back and forth. Y'all can still see what's written on that board. I'm looking at it pretty clear too as well. I just want to make sure you guys can see it clear as well if he writes on it. Y'all let me know. Most High in Christ. All right, Most High in Christ. I like to hear that. And listen, give Trooper a call ahead. He in class right now. Give Trooper a call ahead. All right. A call support. Give that brother a hand. He in class. He helped me put that board up. He did a real wild job putting that board up. He helped me put that board up and he cleaned that board. It looks brand new. I wish I had a picture of what it looked like before. It was terrible. It's been in storage for years, it seemed like. And that brother made it look like it was brand new. It was bent out of shape. It was as if it was the Lord that have done it, for real. So, give that brother a hand doing some real wild work, man. We gonna really get this place right here, the school up and rolling and rocking, and of course we gonna grow from this too as well. You know what I'm saying? We really gonna grow from this. What is it? The school doorsteps, right? Wearing the school doorsteps out, right? Damn right. Where the school doorsteps out. But all right. So first thing first, we're gonna start with the alphabet. All right. And so Slacky, you can oh yeah, con. So as long as if you can see it from the phone, first we're gonna do is I. All right. So when you course every brother that's coming, that if you're physically coming to the Hebrew Lashawan Qadash class, like this is real important. All right. This is real important, and real. Listen, I'm looking at the screen right now. I think the generals are going to like what they see. Damn right, most times right. But so you got the so it's real important to come to physical class to actually learn how to write the Hebrew. So now we're going to be getting into on hand or hands on. It's like your hands on. Everything's going to be started hands on, hands on, hands on. So any brother, sister available, hands on, especially y'all brothers. Y'all come through hands on. All right. I'm gonna invest in getting small little dry erase boards too. So even the sisters and the brothers that are not on the big board can also just follow along. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be a class. It's literally going to be a class. All right, just like how every class is, like the scripture breakdown class. I've always loved teaching the Hebrew. I always loved teaching Lashman. So I'm gonna have small dry erase boards. Every brother and sister can have them, and they can just follow along. Bring your children to class out. You know what I'm saying? Have kids, they can have a dry erase board. They can follow along. They're gonna be in this class. Wait until my sons get here. They're gonna be sitting down in them same damn seats with a dry erase board in their hand. Now the youngest one might just start doodling, but that's fine. You know what I'm saying? He gonna try to draw some I's and bars, but for sure my oldest boy, he definitely gonna draw some I's and bars and guys. I know he's capable of writing right now. My youngest not so much, but we gonna have all that. So come to physical class so you can get used to writing. All right. So if you could put I on the board for me, put the ancient and the Assyrian. All right. Let me see. Most High in Christ. Now I know y'all may not let me see. Is that clear for them? Is the red clear or try may have to use black. Let's see if black is more clear on this thing. Can y'all see that red? Is that red little too? Yeah, try black. Try black if black is more noticeable. Let's see. No, it's why, because I was thinking red would stand out too. Red is a color that will stand out. It's just the camera. Sometimes cameras don't capture everything well, and the glare on the board don't help. Period, because it's a white board. It's not like it's a black board, like back in the day. Let's see if they can see that a little better. I even have my shades on. I think I can see that a little bit better. Can y'all see that? I think y'all can see that black a little better. Can y'all? Let me know if y'all can see that black there. Sure. Let me know if y'all can see that black. Come on, that's exactly how you write an I. So what we have on both boards, black is a little better. Okay, black is a little better. So I know the green. Don't even try with the green. If the black is better than the red didn't work as well, I don't think that green gonna work as well. I mean, you could try it. Just put by next to it and see what's up. The brother said black is a little better. I may have to buy some. It might be the markers that I bought, so I might have to just get some better markers. Get some. Those are not Expo, right? They're not Expo markers, are they? Nah. Yeah. See, I tried it. Yeah. I might have to buy some Expo markers. I was trying to save a little money, I see, but I guess the Lord ain't cheap. I need to buy some. I might have to spend a little bit of money and get some Expo. The Expo might show better. So I mean, that's light. Can't see that at all. Yeah, it's like a light. Yeah, so let's that green may not even. Yeah, kind of. We'll still keep those markers for something. They'll be good for the small boards. For the small boards, they be so wild. Thicker markers might work better, sir. So I'm about to say, yeah, I think that's the Expo so thicker markers, yeah, to get more into it. So now we got your eye. All right, we got an eye on the screen. Let's see. Escape that. Everything looks good there. Everything says good. So. Next, we're gonna get our ba. Right, so you have your ba in the Syrian, and then you have your ba in the ancient. Go ahead and write ba right next to that. Yeah, let's see. And y'all let me know if the green is a little better too. It like the brother said, it might just be the thickness of the markers. You're probably not seeing that. I bet that they're probably not seeing that. Y'all probably not seeing that at all. Y'all probably not seeing that one at all. And the camera, they're close. That's the closest it can get in. It's yeah. The black is probably best. So just rewrite the bar in the black. You know what I'm saying? And of course, by next class we'll have some better markers. Make sure I get that taken care of. Some black expo markers. We'll get some black expo markers. We'll get that. Take care of that real quick. But you got your ba in the Syrian, and you got your ba in the ancient. Kind of the black one, yeah, kind of. Yeah. I think the black would show better for now until we get some. Yeah, we're gonna save those markers for something else when we get these other markers. So you got your Ba in the Syrian, you got your Ba in the ancient. Next you have your God. You have your God in the Syrian, and then you have your God in the ancient. Go ahead and put your God on the board. Next, you have your God. You have your God in the Syrian, and you have your God in the ancient. So now what you want to try to do is try to make that line a little straighter for your one in the Syrian. Yep, that's the Syrian right there. Try to make it go straight down. Yeah, go straight down. That's what you want. Right. So that's your that's your Ba, your Ga, and your Da so far. Next, you have your Ha. You have your Ha in the Syrian, and you have your Ha in the ancient. Of course, if it once it takes up too much space, you can erase and start over. Correct. That's what your Ha looks like. Right? You got your Ha and the Syrian and the ancient. Correct. So next you have your Wa. You have your Wa in the Syrian, and you have your Wa in the ancient. Next you have your Za. You have your Za in the Syrian, and you have your Za in the ancient. And also for next time too, we're gonna go right to left. Right to left. So get used to starting from the right and then move to the left. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let it slide this time for the time. I'm just noticing it, but make sure you do from right to left. That'll hem you up when you are actually trying to read it. Actually, erase all of it. Actually, go for sure. You can erase all that for now. We'll get to our next letter once we can start. We're going to restart and we'll do it from right to left. But that's the Rob letters. And you can also erase the ancient and the Syrian. You don't have to write that in this case. I have it on the blackboard on the screen for the budget. So next, what we have on the board is your cha, right? Your cha. You have your cha in the Syrian, and you have your cha in the ancient. Now remember, you always want to say cha, your cha. All right, it's cha. It's like you're scratching the back of your throat. So make sure start from the right, from the right. So you're gonna start on the far right on the board, actually.
From over here.
Exactly. So you're gonna work from your right, and you're gonna make your way to your left. All right. Now remember, Akim and Awaki, Hebrew is written and read from right to left. It's not like English. All right. You read it from right to left. Right. You write it from right to left. That's how it's written. Most on Christ. So your cha. You have your cha.
You write that from right to left.
Nah. So now that's fine.
Yeah.
That's the English way of saying it. So you can write that. Those are English letters. That's just the pronunciation. You can write that from left to right if you want to. The Hebrew characters itself move from right to left. Right? And it's also that's the spirit of the Lord. Like everything is done from the right. Everything is with the right. You start with the right in everything that you do. All right. I think I said this before, but I'm saying it again. Remember, everything is done with your right. All right. Or everything starts with your right. All right. Hebrew, start from your right. You know what I'm saying? Amadim Shabbat, you're only moving your right leg in and out. You know what I'm saying? Right hand over your chest. You know what I'm saying? Everything is with your right. All right, so keep that in mind too. All right? It's a good way to have a good understanding of things. All right? Everything is right. Like your right hand sitting on the right side of me. Like everything is right. But go ahead. Next we're gonna go to your top. Right, you got your tie in the Assyrian, and you got your tie in the ancient. Try to make that tie slightly better.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tie, yeah, in the Syrian. The one in the ancient is fine. So like in the Syrian, make that tie like a little better. You got the format of it, just make it a little better. That's better. That's the tie. I can accept that. I can accept that. Most on Christ, that's the tie. All right. Next, you have your yah. All right. Got your yah in the Syrian. You got your yah in the ancient. I got to put the battery in the damn thing. Being a typical Israelite, a typical Judite. Just an alarm going off in the background. All right. Let's see. Next is your cut. You got your cut in the Syrian, and you got your cut in the ancient. All right. Now pay very close attention to that cut. Now you don't have to just write both cuts. You don't have to write like the word and nothing like that I got.
Okay, yeah.
Perfect. Well, no, you don't gotta do the arrow or nothing either. You don't gotta do all that. Just write the letters. and you be Tawab. They see that on the screen for me, and they'll hear me say it too. So you Tawab. So you got the Ka. Now remember in the Syrian, all right, if you see that Ka, all right, to the left in the Syrian, that's how you know this is found at the end of a word. All right, so when you're reading the Hebrew, like you'll see that this is the Ka, like this word ends with Ka. All right, this word ends with Ka. So you want to, you want to keep that in mind. All right. Next is you have your La. All right, you got your La in the Syrian, and you got your La in the ancient. What that La look like. Now remember, our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. If you pay very close attention to our letters, like you would see, especially in the ancient script, like you're going to see how our oppressor took from our language and implemented it into ours. Like that La, that's just the letter L. They took that. That's where the letter L comes from. It doesn't come from the English language. It comes from the Hebrew. It comes from La, right there on the board. It's on both boards. All right, right there in front of you. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's always, that's why we always say the Hebrew language is one of the oldest languages on the earth. Right? It's one of the oldest. It's the one of the oldest languages on the earth. All right, let's get your Ma. You got your Ma in the Syrian, and you got your Ma in the ancient. There you go. One time I cracked it. Good miles right there. I accept that. So that's what your Ma looks like. All right. Same concept as well with your Ka. You see that Ma, that's the Ma that comes at the end of a word. Now, if any brother has any questions on the Hebrew too as well, just ask, and I'll get it, and we'll get it rocking and rolling. All right. Yeah, that glare may be a little, it may affect it a little bit, but
Yeah, you can see it.
yeah, that's right. All right. Next is your Na. Now you got your Na in the Syrian, and you got your Na in the ancient. All right, so you got your Sa. All right. Sa. Got your Sa in the Syrian. You got your Sa in the ancient. Christ. Good. Wow. Real to wow. All right, next you got your I. You got your I in the Syrian, and you got your I in the ancient. Right. And also a good thought. Also in my a good thought. I was just thinking in my head. You know what I'm saying? You want to teach your kids. I know a lot of us have children back here, some older than others. But try to get your children speaking this Hebrew, especially if you have young kids, get them to write and read this Hebrew. Also, a good thing you want to do. I have little ones. You know, my kids are still fairly young, and so a good thing is to get them to teach them how to read the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Just get them reading. They don't have to understand it quite yet. You can teach it to them, of course, naturally. You know what I'm saying, as a father. But you know what I'm saying? Get them to read this, put it in front of them, and it's like as if you're reading a storybook to them, and you letting them read the storybook to you. Let them read that. Let them read those scriptures to you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's something you can do. That will teach them how to read. You know what I'm saying? And simultaneously getting them to know their culture without you even trying. Without you even trying, they're just going to know certain words out of Jeremiah. And eventually, when they become, young kids, they're going to recognize these words. And they're going to remember these words. Like, oh, I remember the word Pharisee. I remember the word Sadducee. I remember the word thou and all the other types. They're going to remember these things. You know, children are like sponges. So teaching them a language. They're very young, of course. Do it now. Now is the time. You know, now is the time. This is something that they can just pick up on, and this is going to be their second language. Like this is just something they're never going to forget. All right, they're not going to forget how to say these things and speak it and say it and fluently and all that. This is just something they're just going to know, and that's where you want to be with. Even if you have older children, do your best to get them to want to learn this language. All right. Now, what I mean by that, I'm talking about the kids. If the kids are grown, the kids are grown. If they ain't, if they come into class, it's really on them. But if you got teenagers, you got young teenagers, they don't got much of a choice. You know what I'm saying? Don't be the parent that gives choices. I'll never be the parent that gives choices. Oh, you can choose if you want to come with me or not. You're just coming with me. You're 14, you're coming with me to college. You're coming with me to damn near camp. All right? Don't let my sons be 14. They're going to be all black reading. That's it. Every Saturday. They got nothing to do, no sweat. I'll give you something to do. You can read at camp. Instead of being out there on the street selling dope and doing all kinds of nonsense, you could be at camp reading, being studious, and learning how to, to be, just to be a goddamn man. You know what I'm saying? All right, these are things that you can do when it comes to children. All right, those are just suggestions, not orders. Let's get your pie in the cereal. Remember, right to left. I'm probably gonna go black for a minute, so 1 second. Make sure you start all the way to the right, from right to left, all the way on that board. Over shot. What you see? I'm trying to share these classes on black so they can see my sound. Make sure you share these classes. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm just sharing classes. I'm sharing the link to class. Whoever is on my phone is going to get this class. I don't even know half of these people. They're going to get this class. And be like, who is this number? Random number. I don't care. They're going to join the class. See. All right. So you got your pie. That's real Tawaba. That's a good pie. Good pie. Let me see. What you want to do is so for that pie in that cereal, what you want to do next time is make that make the line longer next time. You know what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Just make it a little longer. That's exactly how you started, and then just like that. That's a pie. All right. So that's what your pie looks like. I can walk. All right. Next, we got your tazah. You got your tazah in the Syrian, then you got your tazah in the ancient. Accept that. So that's what your Tazah look like in the Syrian and the ancient. Next, you got your Kwa. You got your Kwa in the Syrian and you got your Kwa in the ancient. Okay, so now that Kwa in the Syrian, it may look kind of weird on the screen, but it's like it curves in then down. You see what I'm saying? It kind of curves in and somewhat down. It's like a finesse to it. There you go. I can accept that. I can accept that. That's very good actually. That's very good. Every once in a while I'll get it perfect out, but then sometimes I write just like that. That's how it is. All right. But that's your Kwa in the Syrian. You got your Kwa in the ancient. Next is you have your Ra. You have your Ra in the Syrian, and you have your Ra in the ancient. By the way, if any brother or sister has any questions, you can just ask in the live chat. All right, so for that Ra, let me see. Ra looks to Wa. It's to Wa, but try to make it more the ancient was to Wa. If you want to, the ancient was to Wa. Try to make it more the Ra in the Syrian. Try to make it almost like a backwards lowercase r. Like make it more like with that curve. Like I want to see the curve because you know your Da and your Ra. That's close. That's close. It is kind of what I had. Try to make it, you're right there though. You had it closer the first time, just make that curve a little, it's like you're starting off like a dive, but you're curving. And then you're straightening out the line. Let me see. I can accept that. Con. And then your Ra in the ancient is perfectly fine. So next is you have your Shah. Got your Shah in the Syrian, and you have your Shah in the ancient. Next is you have your Thigh. So you have your Thigh in the Syrian, and you have your Thigh in the ancient. And that's what your thigh looks like. All right? Now keep these letters in your memory bank. All right? It's exactly how it's written. It's exactly how it's done. All right? You want to make everything repetitious. This Hebrew is never going to go away. So don't run away from it. You're going to have to learn how to read and write and speak the Hebrew. All right? The Sabbath service is where you learn how to read also the Hebrew and speak the Hebrew and hear how it's said and done. So make it to that Sabbath service so you can get used to hearing the Hebrew and reading the Hebrew. All right? That Sabbath service, y'all gonna come up and read the Hebrew. So y'all officers out there, all right? Gonna be unexcusable in a minute when it comes to not knowing how to read and speak the Hebrew. All right? I'm gonna give y'all about a week or two, and y'all should be able to at least, it should take you no longer than 2 minutes to read a verse in Hebrew. All right? You don't have to go super fast, but you should be able to sound everything out properly. And then, of course, the head priest, not the head priest, the first priest, well, it is the head priest, you like it. Let me double check that terminology. I think it's the first priest, though. I want to say it's first priest. It's not head priest. It's first priest. Let's see. Right, the first priest, all right? The first priest or the second priest will either correct you, all right? That's what the priests are there for. You got the first and second priest up there so they can correct you. That's biblical. There was always two priests up there. You had the first priest and the second priest. And they would either, if you made a mistake, they were going to kill you on the spot. You know what I'm saying? You could not mess up in the temple. That was that. You had to get everything right. And that's referring to the service itself. I'm not talking about the Hebrew. No one's chopping off your, no one's going to just cut you down because you can't speak a lot of wrong God. Except if it was Nehemiah. Nehemiah is whooping your tail. Unless it's Nehemiah and, reincarnated, he is whooping your tail right now in the school for not knowing how to speak Hebrew. And he's going to drag you out to school, all right, by your hair and beat the living crap out of you and get checked for doing it. All right, because you don't know how to speak Hebrew. But that you can find that in Nehemiah. All right, Nehemiah chapter 10. I think it only goes to the 10th chapter. Nehemiah 13. Let me see. It's the last chapter in Nehemiah. That's what I know. One of my favorite scriptures I like going to. Nehemiah 13. I think it's verse 22, 23, somewhere down there. All right. Somewhere down there. Yeah, somewhere down there. All right. Make sure you know how to read and write and speak that Hebrew. All right? You can like what was you saying? That was the last in the alphabet. That was the last letter in the alphabet. So you can start erasing that bowl for sure. So what we're going to do, which is a order coming down right from General Kabbalah Ma, and this is exactly how it's supposed to be done. All right, we're going to start all the way back. For the Sabbath service, we're going to start all the way back to Genesis. All right, and we're going to start from Genesis, and we're going to work our way all the way to Revelation in Hebrew. All right, you can find the New Testament written in Hebrew as well. I'll get that information out to you. It's going to be written in the Assyrian script, of course. All right, but we're going to start with Genesis chapter 1. When it comes to the Sabbath service as well, we're going to start. So the Hebrew class is supposed to be damn near in conjunction with the Sabbath service. And so what I'm gonna do with y'all tonight is I want y'all to get used to. I'm gonna break down these words to y'all. And so I'm gonna have it on the screen. So we're in Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. So I'm gonna break down these scriptures to y'all. All right, and I'm gonna break down these things and what they mean. And I'm gonna move on to the second verse and the third verse so we can learn these words and what they mean and their meanings. All right, so when you read it, when you're also reading it in the Sabbath service, y'all can also hear it. And also you guys can be like, okay, this is what we learned in class yesterday. All right, I remember what the meaning of this means. So when you're reading it in Hebrew, it's almost like first you're going to learn how to know how to read that correctly. So if you are being called up to speak, or not speak, but to read, you're going to know exactly how to say that word correctly if you're paying a word for damn in class. All right? So, you want to pay attention, you want to take notes, you want to remember these things, when you're able to take notes. All right? I know the brother right now, he may have to go back to take notes a little bit, or every once in a while grab his notebook to see this is what this word means. You want to take notes on the Hebrew just like you're taking notes when you do these scriptures. You know what I'm saying? All right. I have notes on the Hebrew. Everything I'm teaching you guys were my notes. All right. Everything that I'm teaching y'all right now were my notes that I personally created. All right. And I made up. All right, I had it all written down in my phone. I had all of it, and I just put it on slides for everybody to see. And then class by class, I wrote them all out. I wrote all my notes out to y'all and taught y'all my notes. An officer of 5,000 Marah is who taught me that. All right, I was attending his classes. He was actually an officer of 1,000 at that time when he was teaching them classes. Then he became 5,000. Officer Haza'ab just took over the nation's class. First it was Officer Marah, but even before then, I was watching General Kabbalah Moss Hebrew classes way back when. I don't know if you can still find those videos anymore. But when I first started coming into the truth, I would see reruns and rewinds of General Kabbalah Moss teaching the Hebrew class. All right? And, so don't, take notes, ask questions. All right? And get better at organizing your notes. All right? You want to be organized. All right? You want to be as much, being organized would be so much, organize your notes. I'm not telling y'all exactly how to organize your notes, but you want your notes to be organized. You just don't want, I personally do not like unorganized notes. I hate looking into my notebook and I see a bunch of confusion and a bunch of random stuff written down. All right? I have sections like, I created a section in my notebook for Hebrew tenses, Hebrew alphabet, Hebrew words, and then with Hebrew words, I put it underneath people, how to say certain people like father, mother, brother, sister, uncle, auntie, things like that. I have that under one section. All right. Something like things around the house, table, window, chair, cup, things like that. I have a section called fruits. I know how to say pear, apple, orange, whatever, you name it, you know what I'm saying? Watermelon. Like I have those things written in my notes. Food, like meat. I have a section for meat, all right? I have a section for vegetables. I have a section, like I break down my notes in Hebrew, all right? I have it, all right? I have those notes I want to tell you what ass is in Hebrew, like a donkey, it's kamor. I have that in my notes. All right? Like I have these things. I have like plants, right? If you want to know what tree is, it's itis. Itis is how you say tree. Like I have these things written in my notes. I can remember them. All right? Days, like I have a section called days. How to say tomorrow. How to say today. How to say yesterday. All these, I'm just giving y'all examples how to organize your notes in the Hebrew. All right? I do the same thing with my scriptures. All right? And then eventually now, scriptures are a little easier to organize. You can technically write a precept anywhere and just write the meaning of that precept. And then this is what I do for my scripture notes. All right. If I'm in class, of course, there's no set, not all the time, but there's no set breakdown or no set like topic at times on scripture breakdown. Not all the time. All right. So what I would do is I'll just whatever scripture is being broken down, I'm taking notes on that scripture. And then I add it to a section where I know I can use it. So if I say this section is homosexuality and lesbianism, this scripture goes under this, this topic, and this is where I can use it. Sometimes more than one scripture can be for more than one topic I can, by the way. But this is how I organize it. Oh, this is about America, serving other gods. I'm gonna put this under this section. Like I have a section for all these. A section for voting. These scriptures are perfect for voting. Like organize your notes to the best of your ability. But this is what we're going to get on the board. Let's get to it. All right, so we got Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. So I want to be able to get to some of them. I know it's already 8:30, so lucky. That's me. All right. Class was start a little late, lucky. All right. Getting everything prepared and up and running. But now, so what we have here is Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. All right. So now, teach y'all something. Let me see. If you can. So what I want you to put on the board for me is, let me go back into my notes or something. Now, I wrote this down before. Of course, I want you to put Bara Ashiach on the board. All right, so you got a ba, start from right to left though, and you can also make your letters a little bigger too. So I want you to practice that too. So just a little bigger. It's a little bigger. You don't have to go crazy. What happened?
The ba.
Oh, the ba. You kind of no sweat. Take your time, and that's the point of it. So you can commit it to memory. So don't sweat that. Yeah, I even have a notes about spices and seasonings, like how to say garlic and oil and honey and butter and cheese and even cumin. I have all that. How to say certain drinks, like milk, water, wine, juice. To say the verb to drink anyway, like shakwa. I have all that. Juice, lashad. I think my kids even know how to say lashad. That's all. When I taught them how to say lashad, the two things my kids probably know by heart is three things. Shalom, water is mayum, and lashad is juice. Three things my kids probably know by heart that they'll damn near never forget. especially that shalom and the shah. First they start with shalom and they end with the shah. And I get from the shah. That's it. So you don't. So the what I want you to write is bara ashya. So you got the ba. So you don't gotta put the I want you to write in the Assyrian only, and then and put a ba, a ra, and a ah, and a shah. I'm gonna walk you through it too. Just 1 second. Too. See, I'm trying to look for.
By two.
And then you put a ra. Ryan Syrian. Okay, more time Christ. Ah. I should be back in there. Logic. All right, a shot. So now we have bara ashya. All right, bara ashya, which literally means in the beginning. All right, bara ashya, which literally means in the beginning. So when it says bara ashya, like I said, if I could, it's a Tawab idea for everyone to download the Blue Letter Bible app on their phone to follow along and practice. Exactly, Khan. Give Officer Mataza Al-Karai a hand. That is definitely Tawab. What you want to do is download the Blue Letter Bible app on your phone. You can follow along exactly what I'm breaking down and teaching. All right, this is something you can follow along with. All right, you want to get that immediately. All right. Second thought, let me my backpack. Let me see, where's my backpack of books? A lot. 1 second, I'm gonna show y'all something. Cause y'all got the Blue Letter Bible app. Let me show y'all old school ones real quick. Officer Uriah had to do a lot of studying back in the day, all right? It's a lot. All right. So let me show y'all something real quick. Put a ya and a sa. Ya. So bara asya. In the meaning, if you can put the meaning, and then I want you to put a ya and a sa. So I want to show y'all something. So I know the Blue Letter Bible, right? Everything is on your phone now. Right? Everything is on your phone. But at one point in time, there was a thing called books. All right? Before the internet came out, there was a thing called BOOKS in a library. All right? Books, library, at one point in time. And so, can y'all see this? Y'all let me know if y'all can see this. All right? This is what I was using. Before I knew about the Blue Letter Bible app. This is what I was using to figure things out in the Greek and in the Hebrew. All right? It's a good book to have as well. Because at camp, you may not always have, Most High Christ for books. All right? Before the library, before the internet, libraries and books All right, nothing but libraries and books. I don't think anybody, you know, what I'm saying, right? A relic. It's a damn relic. When you see this book right here, Hakim, it's called A Concise Lexicon to Biblical Languages. All right, and it says Hebrew and Greek. All right, from A to Ta, from Alpha to Omega in the Greek, in English, A to Z. That's what it says. It's the title. Y'all can see this relic right here, this old relic, this old book right here. You know what I'm saying? That obviously y'all can know I says a relic. This right here, this is where I had to go. All right. And so if I wanted to look up a word, all right, this is where you can find your Strongs at. So the same Strongs are in this very same thing. This is where they took this. All right, they took this very same. They took this. All right, and they just made it and they put it on the internet. That's all they did. That's all they did. So if I go to Bara Asya, which I should be, I'm in Nah. Let me go to Ba. If I open up Ba, all right. So Ba, and I need to go to Ra. Use it just like you would use a regular dictionary. It's almost like a dictionary. All right, it's like a dictionary. So I'm gonna look up Ba. Well, it's like I may have to go to Ra'ash Ya. So it's not going to be Ba. That Ba is actually there to be meaning in. So let me go to Ra'ash. I got to go to Ra. So Salaki, that's on me. It's not going to start with Ba technically. It's going to start with Ra. It's going to start with Ra. That's the root.
You erase the Ba?
No, you twa, because I want you to write down the verse. Also, put underneath the equal sign and write that in English. Bara'ash. All right. So yeah, right from left to right in this case, because it's English. You're Ba, Ra, Ash. So Ah. Then your Shah, but no I at the end of that one because it's connected. So Sh. And then Ya, your Ya, Bara'ash Ya. Then your Ta, it's like your Ta.
Your Ta.
Mm-hmm. But no ha at the end. No ha at the end though. Bara'ash Ya. There you go. So just erase that I. Now you're, there you go. No, put the ha, put that H there still. So yeah, it's a tha, but there's no I at the end. So
oh, I got you.
Yeah, because remember, you drop the I at the end. In most cases, you'll drop the I at the end. Yeah, so you see how Bara Ashya. So that's how it's pronounced. Bara Ashya. And that means in the beginning. So this is Genesis 1. So if I go to Ra, I'm here doing this proving a point at this point. I'm just trying to show y'all something. All right. So you would use this book just like a regular dictionary. All right. Another book that I have, a good read, is called The History of the Hebrew Language. The history of the Hebrew language. Let's see. I took notes or highlighted it. Well, actually, I probably did not highlight it because I hate to highlight things in my book. But I believe this is where I got my information, the word connaissant. This is where I got the word connaissant from. Letting you know that the Hebrew language was a connaissant language. I mean, and this book lets you know the history of Hebrew. This book alone lets you know that the Hebrew did not have any vowels in it. Right? It didn't have any vowels in it. All right? The history of the Hebrew language. All right? This came out in, it was first, let me see, originally published in Spanish. All right? This book was originally in Spanish, Y'all did not know. Okay, so I'm gonna let y'all know this is the Cambridge University Press, and this book was originally published in Spanish as Historia de la Lengua Hebrea by Editorial AUSA, Sabadell 1988, Angel Sanez Badillos, and Editorial AUSA, Sabadell 1988. All right, and so this is when this book was written. Now this was originally in Spanish, not even in English. The original was in Spanish. Someone that spoke Spanish wrote this. All right, which makes this book even more valuable. All right, and I'll let you know about it. Right, so in the beginning, so you have bara asya, all right, meaning in the beginning. Next, next I want you to get is bara'ah. Bara'ah meaning to create. So bara'ah is a verb meaning to create. All right, let me get back to this ra'asya. Right, and I'm gonna go back to that coordinates, the Blue Letter Bible. In a minute. Bara'ah, right here, ba and a ra and a ah. Bara'ah. That's correct. Bara'ah. And you can put underneath the English bara'ah. You got it. Correct. Bara'ah.
So in the beginning, what was that? That was in the beginning.
Yes. He could do which means created. So bara'ah means create. So in the beginning, created. Right? Translation should be above. So in the beginning, God created, but we'll see why it says God created. We didn't get to that part yet. But yeah, bara'ah meaning created. That is a verb. Let's go back to bara'ah shop real quick. So y'all see, this is your strong concordance that's highlighted. So you see that highlighted thing right there that I got my mouse over, or the cursor. I believe it's called a cursor. If I remember correctly, you see where I have the right. The mouse is the actual thing itself. The cursor is what I'm moving around, if I remember correctly. So you see where my cursor is? You see H7225. All right? That is your strong. All right? That is your strong. So you can, instead of, now also, if you want to compare strong, you can just look up the strong number. But the way I did it, which was the harder way of doing it, but getting you used to knowing Hebrew, is doing it by the letters. Like as if you're looking it up in the dictionary. So you would get your concordance, because best to believe that we at camp, and we will have a concordance. Y'all brothers that come to camp better know how to go through this concordance. They know how to find these things. All right? All right? So make sure y'all know how to go through these concordances. Sometimes we're going to have to pull a word at camp to prove that, Alahayim is referring to powers, to prove that it's talking about the angels. Something so small, but something really significant when it comes to a breakdown. Y'all feel me? Y'all understand that? That's very significant when it comes to a breakdown. Just knowing Alahayim is referring to the angels. That's significant. Knowing that the Lord's name is actually Yahweh. Going to the concordance. That's significant. Those things are very significant. It may seem like it's a small thing, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? Now, these things can cut a Christian. I'm teaching y'all how to cut Christians right now, even in the Hebrew class. So, here we go. You see how it says 7225? If y'all, of course, y'all not gonna see. Y'all not gonna be able to see it. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can kind of. I believe I can turn my camera around. I can switch my camera around real quick. Setting camera. So I want y'all to be able to see what I'm looking at. This is what it looks like. I'm using my phone a little. The light might not be the best. And my shadow ain't working for me. But if y'all can see that, can y'all kind of see that on the screen from what I'm looking at? So you see right there, these numbers. See 7225 right there? All they did was take this book and they put it on the computer. That's all they did. All they did. Look real close. All right. Y'all see? This is what it looks like. Right here. This is what the concordance looks like. It's like a dictionary almost. What the concordance looks like. Can I make it larger? I don't know if I can make it. Can you make it the large thing, sir? Let me see. Okay, I think I know what you mean. I might have to do it from the computer so I can see what y'all right. The water. Let me see if I can do that real quick. I can remove that. Let me see. And I can remove. Let's get back to it. All right, so I'm back at it. So, Most High Christ, a yonder bar, and the water for the idea too. I didn't even think about that. To take everything off so I can make the entire screen bigger. So the water. I didn't even think about that. So the water for that, soldier, water. So now, let's get back to it.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't gonna be here long. That fly ain't gonna be here long. It's not allowed in the temple. It's not not an Israelite.
Right.
A fly is a non-Israelite. It's to be put to death. But but this is a good book right here. All right, make sure y'all looking to get in these books. If you go to the ISUPK website, there should be a list of books that y'all brothers can buy. All right, and even have in your own repertoire. All right, I have a lot of books. All right, I have a lot of books. All right, I'm just a collector of books at times. Just y'all wait. I even have plenty of books, plenty. So you got bara asha, bara. Next is alahayim. So this word is pronounced alahayim. All right. Now if we go to the 430. This is your concordance. This is your strong. That's called a strong. This is a concordance. It will let you know where it comes from. All right. All right. Alawa is where it comes from. All right. I believe actually this is still Allah. That Y, I believe, is just connected. Because I believe 433 may just be Allah as in power, possibly. Let me see. There you go. Hold up, there you go. Right there, Allah. There you go, right there. Straight like that. It's almost like sometimes I have these things memorized. Like it. I'm not mistaken. All right. Now, before y'all ask the question, it is not verified yet if the Muslims got their God Allah from the Hebrew word Allah. That's not proven. Do not teach that. Don't it's a good educated guess. It's a good observation, but it's not something that's proven. All right, that's not. We're still doing research on that, and so don't the dots. So Slagi Adawan, are the dots meaningful? La'ah. So when you're reading in the Assyrian script, those dots are called lectris matrionis. All right, lectris matrionis. Let me see if I can get that for y'all. All right. Electras, matrionis. I'm also maybe saying that incorrectly. All right. But you have the Nakud and you have the Lectris matrionis. They don't mean anything. All right. They don't really mean anything to us. They mean something to our oppressor, but not to us. Yeah, matrix lectionis. Matrix lectionis. Let's see. This is what I want. So if I go to Google for y'all, let me see if y'all see this on the screen, all right? So if y'all can read this on the screen. You have matres lectionis, from Latin, mothers of reading. That's what it means. It's Latin for mothers of reading, singular form, mater lectionis from Hebrew, all right? consonants that are used to indicate a vowel, primarily in the writing of Semitic languages such as Arabic, Hebrew, and Syriac. All right, pay close attention to Hebrew and Syriac. Hebrew and Syriac. So Syrian, the Syrian script. All right, you also have something called the Nakud. All right, so like a wa, you have certain letters that it would consider to, this is how the vowel system in Hebrew was created. All right, that was a good question now, so you guys can know this. All right, y'all need to know this. Something called Nakud. We don't use the Nakud. All right, Nakud. All right, Nakud in Hebrew orthography, Nakud or Nakud. All right, let me see. Dotting, pointing. All right, literally means dotting or pointing, is a system of diacritical signs used to represent vowels or distinguish between alternative punctuations of letters of the Hebrew alphabet. So those dots that you see comes from the Nakud, which is the dotting and pointing system, all right, to represent vowels or distinguish between alternative punctuations of letters of the Hebrew alphabet. So it's almost like it's putting English into Hebrew, because there's a certain way to pronounce a E, all right? Sometimes E is A, it could be is whatever, like I sometimes can sound like an E, things like that. So a certain dot there can turn an I, but it makes it sound like an E, even though it's an I. Y'all get my point? It's almost like that. That's the system our oppressor created in order to learn our language. All right, they could not distinguish. They were not a spiritual people, and so they could not understand context. All right, they didn't understand the spirit behind the Hebrew language. All right, they didn't understand that. All right, they didn't understand that so far. So for you out, right? You know, so remember the Nakud is like the dotting and pointing system. All right, that's underneath or above or even in between or whatever to let you know how to pronounce something, but we don't use that back here. And then you got matrices lectionis, which is a consonants that are used to indicate vowels. I believe those consonants are your ah, your wa. I believe they have them here. Here you go. Your ah, your ha, your ya, your wa, your ya. All right. So your consonants are your ah, your ha, your wa, and your ya. Those are your consonants. All right. All right. You're not your consonants. All right. Your consonants. All right. Those are your consonants in Hebrew. All right. And they took those. God. Here you go. All right. Does everybody understand? So for the next class, we're going to get right into it. So you have Alahayim. All right, that's referring. All right, we go down. It can mean rulers, judges, divine one, angels, gods. All right, God-like ones. All right, referring to the Most High, but not exactly the Most High. Right? Like these are the different meanings of Alahayim. So Alahayim has more than one meaning to it. All right. So that's why it says, all right, it's still referring to the Most High because the Most High gave the order to the angels, all right, to create the earth. All right. This is the beginning of creation. So you have Bara'asha, Bara'ah, Alahayim, all right, Ah, Hashemayim Wa'af Ha'aratazah. All right. So we're gonna take it from there. We're gonna leave off right there. Next week, we're still going to backtrack, and then we're also going to go over as many verses as we can during the Lashawan Qadash class, of course. But come to the Sabbath service. I'm gonna do my best to stay on point and where we left off. All right, where we left off. All right. Of course, for y'all troopers that are going to be reading, and your officers that are going to be reading in the Sabbath service. All right. Y'all can always call. Just know the breakdown of the Sabbath service is every 7 verses. And so in total, we have to read 49 verses within 1 hour. So so you want to count from Genesis 1 and count 49 verses. If you have for any officer or trooper, read over those 49 verses. And if you have any questions, call and ask throughout the week on how to pronounce this word. What does this word mean? Am I saying this word right? Because y'all have the Blue Letter Bible. Y'all can go into the Blue Letter Bible and figure out what the word is saying. But you can also find out, am I saying it right? All right? Am I cutting it off at the right point? Where is it connected? Those are questions you ask during the Hebrew class. So next week, if y'all know that we're going to be in damn near Genesis chapter 2, read the next 49 verses and ask questions by the next Hebrew class. So I can go over those scriptures for y'all. Because y'all going to be reading them during the Sabbath service. I pray y'all understand. That's how it's supposed to work. That's how it's going to work. That's how it will work. So don't forget to ask those questions. All right? Don't forget to ask those questions, Akim. This is how you're going to be able to learn, and read and write and speak the Hebrew. So keep that in mind. All right? That's how General Kabbalah Mach broke it down to me. So that's how I'm going to break it down to y'all. All right? So with that, I say Shalom Israel, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua Brakathum to the brothers, and Shalom Yahweh Shamar Alathan Ba'ashim Yahushua to the sisters. Shalom.